In the previous video, I shared with you about AM and FM radio instead of using satellite radio. Instead of paying money for satellite radio, you can try exploring a little bit of AM and FM radio reception in your area. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit of shortwave radio listening here in the United States and throughout much of the world. Before I begin, I want to share with you some shortwave radio listening tips. Most European and Middle Eastern shortwave stations can be heard at night, during the night. So you want to listen to shortwave stations in Europe and Middle East at night from 5 p.m. until midnight. Sometimes they can be on after midnight. Early in the morning, you want to start listening to shortwave stations in Asia and Australia. And in the daytime hours, you can only hear stations locally in the United States, especially WWCR in Nashville, Tennessee, and others in the United States, Mexico, Canada, the Caribbean, and South America. Those are the shortwave radio stations that you should be listening to in the daytime. Okay, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and see what's out there.
Where do you get people? It is a challenge. And we, basically, as far as locating on the station, we've been fortunate that we kind of grabbed throughout the network.
Again, it's just after 5 p.m. and we're starting to get some shortwave radio activity. This is the 31-meter band, shortwave band, broadcast band.
Right now, and recognize.
I'm to tell you people that that's what it goes.
Se alargará en este 2025, que ya cuenta con fechas en La Coruña para el 15 de febrero o en el...
That was Spanish. You start to hear some of those Spanish stations after 5 p.m. That is, if they happen to broadcast after that time period.
They're rejected. I'm not going to mourn over them. There's always that natural human instinct.
Ficava fora por dias a fio, deixando as crianças que lutavam pela sobrevivência.
His head with his face to the ground.
As an FSK signal, I don't know where it's coming from. I just pressed the single sideband button. This radio does have single sideband. Moving on to the 41-meter band. Got some ham radio activity going on. By the way, from 7 from 7.0 to 7.2 megahertz is the ham radio band. But on shortwave, you do hear some ham radio conversations going on. More on that on a future video.
Your S meter should be pretty down to zero if you're okay. If you're not, fix that problem first before.
Someone giving ham radio advice. By the way, that was WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee, I think. Okay, moving on to the 49 meter band.
You're to the Overcomer Ministry radio broadcast from Walterboro, South Carolina. For our most current contact information, please visit
Et vous avez bien raison, Dublin. Bonjour à toutes et à tous.
broadcast at any time on your phone. Also,
Hours after an agreement for a ceasefire in Gaza, Israel's Prime Minister is having doubts. An Israeli cabinet vote is delayed and attacks continue.
Okay, so that'll do it for the exploration of shortwave radio signals and shortwave radio listening. Just give it some thought on shortwave radio listening and whether or not you should invest your time in it. You also almost forgot to say that you're going to need a shortwave radio to receive shortwave radio broadcasts. The radio I'm using here is the Texan, spelled Tecsun, S2000. I bought this on eBay several years ago, and it continues to work just perfect after all those years. And I'm still very happy with it. Again, give shortwave radio listening some thought rather than paying for radio services such as SiriusXM. You will get shortwave radio signals throughout much of the day and a lot of radio signals at night thanks to signal propagation, that is, of shortwave signals being carried over longer distances. Again, explore shortwave radio listening, and it's a great hobby to get into. And just see what's out there. Another way to simply cut the cord, or should say save money on paid satellite radio services. So again, give shortwave radio listening a try. Get a shortwave radio and tune around and see what's out there.